So now that we've got the small ends on the snowshoes completed, we're going to start the toe or the bigger end. And again, we're going to make a small hole in our twine. These ends have already been burnt, same as the white nylon. This is a little heavier twine. This is a 2.5 because it's a bigger area. Now in the bigger portions of the snowshoe, it's quite awkward sometimes to use a single piece of twine to fill it, just because it's cumbersome, it tangles, and so in the end, some of these bigger ends will use joint twine. This end here will take about 42 feet, and then when we get to the middles, you'll find that we'll probably use 2 or 3 pieces. But for now, we've just got this one that's going to get us started. Same principle as the smaller end that we alluded to. Down through to the middle of the snowshoe. And you don't want to pull this stuff fast because it will melt the other twine. So make sure it's free. And we take out the twists on the first leg. Get it all through. And one twist around, and again, down through. This twine is a little easier to manage with respect to the keeping it flat, simply because it's a braided poly and it doesn't have a core, and it's a lot better for displacement too with the flat twine. Okay, same as before, over, under, over, under. Now we're going to tie into the selvage cord over here for the first corner. Make her flat. Twist, and we go under and then down through. Now it can be a little awkward when you start off with long twine, so just go slow and have some tolerance for the twists. Just want to make sure that stays flat there. A little tension will pull all the loose away. And we're under here, so we go over here and down through. Again, a little squeeze to stretch it all out flat. Usually your thumbnail is a better tool for that. One twist, down through, and back up. Now we'll straighten this one out. Finish our twist so that it's flat. Just slide back here. Now in this particular corner, same as we did on the little one, we can't go across like this. So we've got to make that transition loop into the selvage cord where we go down through and back up. What that enables us to do is have the next course parallel to the first one here. A little bit of tension. Now, this one was under these runs. We're going to put this one under. And we're under on this side, so we have to be over on this side. Now, we've done this loop knot here to make the run parallel. We're going to do it on this side for a change in direction, because we got one on this side, we want to put one on this side. Keep our runs repetitive all the time. So we're going to go down through here. Make sure we're pretty flat. We'll squeeze the thumb. One twist in there, that's all. Okay, again we're going to do this loop. We skip this first one, go down to the second, what we call the second run. From here, and we come up through here. We'll leave it loose. And now we can't go over both of these, so we have to go under here to match this one. Now with a little tension, position that component, then we position this loop, make it flat, and snug this up. And now that puts us back up to the top selvage cord, matching what we did on the other side. Again, we went down through, one twist around, and we're going back down to this corner to start a weave up through these two. And again, we're under here, so we're over on this side, and we're down through the selvage cord. Take all our twists out. And we'll come up through. So back in this corner now, we're going to start the weave. Now with the bigger twines, it'll fill in a little bit faster, but you still have to be very careful of the transition when you have 3 twines. So we got 1, 2, 3 here. That's where the weave starts. Up through here. We get all this through. So we did a weave in this corner. We're going to transition as easily because we've got the right angle of tack here, and we're going to come right across to this side and do a weave down here. Then that will take us right back to the top, and we start over again with that other loop. go under. Little tension. Under on this side, on the left. Over on the right. Down through. Now we're going to take a weave and mimic what we did on this corner. And we'll pull this through, nice and easy. Adjustment on them to tighten it up. Again, our distances approximately, try to keep these the same distance as these so you have a nice even pattern. Now we're down through the selvage cord here. We're going to go back up under here, over here, same as these ones if you can see them. And we're going to go down through. One twist. Nice and flat. Now, we've got to do the loop again down in this corner because we want to get back up to here to make the parallel run like the tool is indicated. So we skip the first one, similar to how we did it before, and we go around this one down here and back up to here. Pull that snug so we'll get a good visual on it. Flatten it out. There we go. Now we have to tie it in through that selvage cord. We're going down through. We'll show that loop, and we're going to come right back up. Snug, a little tension, and we're underneath, and we're back over here. Now we'll tie it in on this side. And we'll finish the loop on this side to get us back up here so that we even up the number of runs we have on the top. Again, we skip the first one and we go into the last loop. That prevents this knot can't slip up, but this one can. So that's why we're tying into those. So we have our loop. We come up through. A little bit of tension here. Snug that down. Now we've got to get under this one. Can't go that way. Got to mimic what we did previously. So we're underneath. Get all the twists away. And we're down through the top salvage cord again. We'll do one twist. Make sure we're flat. And then come back down in here. And we're going to loop this in to start another corner weave. The spacing is pretty equidistant. So we've got these little X's created here. That's where we're going to continue our weave across. Pull your string back out of the way every once in a while so you can be sure you're in the right position. We'll even this up a little tension on them. And now we're ready to do another horizontal run. Now, this horizontal run will bring us back over here, and then we have to come down. And we've got 5 top cords now. And what we're probably going to end up doing is having one more here that's going to have to go down to the corner to replicate this knot and bring us close to the center. So I'll finish this one off here for the third weave. Get it flat. A little twist over. And we're going to weave down to the bottom again. Okay, a little tension. Under and over here. Now what this is going to do is this is probably going to generate our last loop to change direction, and then after that the default is going to get us, when we match it on this side, it's going to give us that horizontal run on the top, which means we're in the middle of for the fill. So I'm going to tie this one back, and then I'll advance to the next frame. Similarly, we want to have the same number of horizontal runs in this end as we do in the next top. Under, over, okay, we skip that first one to secure it down here. Going back up through, and again we want to get up here, but we got to go under right there. And that sort of secures this knot anyway. Gives it a little more tension. And down through. One twist. Get our spacing. So now we're getting pretty close to closing that middle up. Okay, we're back in the weave. Again, you can pull it back to see where your next one is. They're getting a little bit congested there, but the twine is easy enough to see because it's quite large. Now this horizontal run, once we check up our tensions, is going to bring us to the point where we probably want to start the middle weave by picking up this guy here. Flat. So we have 6 runs. We could possibly do another one. Depends on what you want to see in the congestion with the strings on the top. Usually if you force too many here, this will start closing up. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So with a little adjustment here, I think we've got ample room. Everything's the same. We've got 3 on the left, we've got 3 on the right. We've just done a weave on the left, so we'll do the weave on the right. Gets a little bit slower as you progress here, obviously because the weaves are becoming more. Tension. Now we're starting to get a little congested here, so we can't have another free run in there. That'll push everything together. So what I'm going to do is we're going to adjust these a little bit. And now we're going to start the weave to close off this in the middle. At this point, we're going to start our horizontal run on the top. Now that we've done that, the process of filling now becomes just completely going around the snowshoe, following the last course, and no more loops to change the direction of the twine on the sides, because the top is filled. find that it wants to stay flat now in the weaves, which is nice. And then we're going to tie into this knot over here. These are all equidistant, just to keep the symmetry in the pattern. We're going to go under here and pick up our weaves in the middle. Now, as you notice, we're certainly not finished, but I'm running out of twine simply because I chose to use multiple pieces rather than fight with that extra length, because it's difficult enough with this. The piece I started with was 30 feet. Now when I run this loop through, we'll do a join of what we estimate to be the remaining string portions we're going to require. And then we'll finish it off the same as we did the white twine and the tails, with a clove hitch and a lock nut. Do a little tension. And now we can start doing a little bit of tension in the middle too, to stop the runs from crowding each other. Again, all we're doing now is just following the last run straight around. You can't call it a circle. Okay, last leg. That's all through. We're going to single so we can give that a snug. Take all the wrinkles out of the twine. And we're going to probably finish up here somewhere with this length. A little adjustment on them. Again, tension to keep the weave together. Just a little bit. That'll tension this one up on the top. Now we're going to secure this around the selvage cord and see what we got left. So this piece is not quite going to reach the edge. Don't like having joins in the middle. Two reasons. Just the appearance, but mostly if we have a join out here where there's got a lot of friction and wear, that would tend to be the weakest point. So we try to hide our knots back in here under protection. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut it off right there. I'm going to pull it back so it's free, and we're going to burn that end. And again, wet fingers, clear it off. Now, we're going to join the twine. First, we got to get an idea of how much we need left. So if we counted the intersections here, where we're going to have to weave. We've got 1, 2, 3 more times around completely, but we'll have to start up here. So in retrospect, there will be 4 up here. 2, 3, 4. So what we have to compensate for is this length. That's 1 trip around. Now we need 3 more. And again, it's just following the line. So I'm going to guesstimate 2 legs, 3 legs. So that will be 1 trip around the end of this snowshoe. I know I need 3. And I'm going to take a little bit for grace for my knot. Now we're going to burn the other end of this one. And you don't want it too bulky. And we'll find the other end. Now in order to join these, we don't want to tie a great big double knot. Something like this. That's just too gaudy. And this is slippery stuff. So what we're going to do is we're just going to lace it together. What we're going to do is keep this end. I'm going to make an eye in here similar to how we started, but we're going to join the twines. So got a big eye in this one. I'm going to poke that through. Now on the receiving end, I'm going to put another eye. And we're going to take the end of our added twine and we're going to sneak it through there. And this is what we're going to end up with in the join. Now, as we lace this in, just got to make a little bit of extra room to get it through first. And most of this knot is going to be up here close to the beam. When we finish lacing and we have tension on this, we'll come back, and if these are standing up a little bit, we can reburn them and just flatten them down just a tad. So get enough tension on this so it can't slip back on us. Probably go right to the other side. And we'll just get it down through the salvage part. One little loop. Again, we got to go under here till we get to our weave area, which would be right here is the first one. Now that's enough to secure the tension. So I'll just demonstrate on this top one where we're clamped in the vise. You got to be very careful with the edge of the flame on the burnt portion of that twine, and it'll soften. It might even light. Blow it out, and then a wet finger and just flatten it down a little bit. And we'll do that to the other side when we finish the twine. Now, for this purpose, all we have left to do is go around this whole frame 3 times. following the lines as we just did when we joined on the twine. There's no deviation with the knot loop. All we do is we want to make sure we keep our distances the same. And then when we come back with the end, we're going to secure it on the top of the selvage cord here, the same way we did the white twine in the tails. Now, for the same purpose we stopped with the end fills, for all intents and purposes, we're going to say that this one is done. We know we've got the middle weave. What we're concerned about now is the horizontal runs again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the X, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we want to make sure that we replicate that in this one. Now what I do is that most times when I'm filling, I'll get them both to about halfway. So if we count this one up, we can see if we're going to have to put another full feed in here for another horizontal run. And these are not adjusted back yet. So let's do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So if we started to weave now, we would have exactly the same number of horizontal runs as in this one. So with this leg, we've advanced this one to the middle. We start to weave. It's going to take us to the top selvage cord. And I'll do my loop around this little knot just to secure that. Now we check the top of the frame. In this one, we had 3 tie-ins that went down the side on each side, and then we twisted across this knot for our first horizontal run. So in this one here, we have 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and we're tied in for our first horizontal run. So in this case, we'll proceed across. And we'll end up with this, the same as this, after we complete the full fill. We're going to have symmetry in the size of the webbing, and we're going to have symmetry in the runs of the lines.